Hello and good morning friends, welcome to the CEC EduSet live lecture. Continuing from our previous lecture which was about development communication, and through development communication we tried to study about this very topic, what it means, what are the processes involved, and many other examples which were set by our expert yesterday enabled us to learn more and more about this topic. And to learn more about this topic we have again with us in our studios Professor Dr. Devesh Kishore. He is Professor Emeritus as well as head in the field of this mass communication research, and he is again with us, and today he is going to talk about development communication again, but how it brings the change, how it is helpful in bringing the change, as well as he will be stressing on the various areas, that is on the models of the communication, the models of the mass communications which are basically involved in the development communication, as well as the various approaches which are used and applied in the field of development communication. So first of all, I would like to welcome our expert, that is Professor Devesh Kishore. Sir, you're welcome once again in this EduSet lecture of ours, and yesterday you set very good and very recent examples by which I think the students who might watching us might have got a very deep insight into this very topic, that how this communication is involved in development, and now as the topic is that it brings change, how it brings the change. For that I would like you to tell our students.
Thank you very much. Today our focus of discussion would be how do we apply development communication for social change. Yesterday we had a discussion, what do we mean by development communication. Now this development communication has to be used as an instrument for social change. What does it mean? What are its approaches? What are its models? We will be limiting our discussion today basically around these 4 questions. Let us first have a discussion that communication which is applied to development, how does it works? What do we mean by that? Actually, development communication for social change is a real application of communication research, studies, theories and methodologies in development of the society. Please remember, there are 3 important things. First thing is, whatever researches have been done in the area of development communication, their findings, then theories which have been evolved, and technologies, third thing, which has to be used in development of the society. If all these 3 are applied, that is the research findings, theories and technology in the development of the society, then we will say this is development communication for social change. These are 3 very important aspects. A development communicator who wants to bring change in the society will have to understand first what are the researches which have been done in this area, what are the technologies available in this area, and how do we apply it. Let me take up the definition given by Food and Agricultural Organization of United Nations in 1984. According to their definition, communication for development is a social process. Please take care of the important points. Social process designed to seek a common understanding among all the participants of a development initiative creating a basis for concerted action. Here also there are three very important phenomena involved. First thing, by United Nations, they considered communication for development is a social process. Is not a process otherwise where you are forcing people to accept the change. No. It is a process by which the society understands the technological changes, society accepts those changes and voluntarily adopts it. So the first thing is, it is a part of the social process. Second thing is, it develops a common understanding among all the participants who are involved in that. If there is no understanding developed, then you are not using communication development for social change. The people who are going to be affected by that change must understand the meaning and concept, methodology of that particular change, how this change will benefit them. If somebody understands how this change will benefit, he will accept it. If he is not able to understand, then he will not accept it. He may say yes, 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 but he may not adopt it. Therefore, common understanding has to be evolved among that group of people or audience for whom we are bringing the change. And then it should lead to an action. Lead to an action means what? That you should provide those inputs which are required to adopt that information. For example, I take a very, very simple example. You want to have women empowerment program. A group of women, you want them to have small earnings or earnings, whatever time is left out of their family schedule. Then you are going to recommend some of the smaller activities, maybe a sewing activity. But suppose you have convinced them that you will be able to earn some money if you start taking activity like sewing at home. But the next question would be, if I undertake the sewing activity, where are the machines? Who will teach us? Who will train us? It means for leading that action, you should be able to provide those inputs which will help them to adopt it. That is very important. Therefore, FAO accepted this definition. Let us think of a bigger definition which World Bank has accepted. According to World Bank, we create a mechanism so that the public gets the information. Until this mechanism is not created, how the people will get the information? Then next thing is create ability in the clientele. Ability to what? Ability to use it. Ability to adopt it. Ability to get benefit out of it, which will come after sharing the knowledge. Therefore, first thing they said, according to the World Bank, you create mechanism for information, you ensure that information reaches to the audience, point number one. Point number two, you make them able, create strength in them so that they develop ability to accept, adopt, understand And third, you must develop all this through a participatory process. Why? If it is a participatory process, then it is to be retained by them for a longer period of time. And then whatever activities you are going to recommend, communicate to them. So in this philosophy of World Bank, their emphasis is to create mechanism. That's why World Bank gives soft loans. Maybe for 20 years they won't charge any interest, and then they say 2% interest you can give later on. Why are they doing it? Spending millions and millions of rupees and giving loan to the developing countries, because they want to create a mechanism so that it becomes self-earning and they are able to get the benefit out of this, and that brings change in the society. So therefore, as a scholar of development communication and social change, we should understand the various phenomena and various important points involved in the process. I am giving you different views and different aspects which have been touched by different organizations. What I am doing, I am enabling you to understand how development communication is being used for social change and how do the people conceive it, understand it. Let us see some more views on it. The other thing is, which have been said, development communication is basically sharing of knowledge. There the emphasis was sharing the information, creating a mechanism of information. Here it is said that you must share the knowledge and reach a consensus. How to reach a consensus? By using communication media, by using information media, so that the people are able to understand and they are able to accept it. So here the most important thing which has been mentioned is sharing of knowledge, reaching a consensus, and then relate it with their interest and need so that they are able to adopt it. The other school of thought, they said development programs cannot produce change without an ongoing culturally and socially relevant communication. Ongoing means the present activities which are going on, you correlate with that. Don't bring something very new. Relate with the ongoing, presently going on in the activities which are culturally and socially relevant. Some of the changes in the society, development workers have tried, which were not matching with their cultural and social background. Those programs have failed. In this country also, their number of development programs have failed. Why? Because there was no proper mechanism for communicating them. People don't know what is this program, for whom this program is meant, how they will be benefited. They themselves do not know. Many research studies have shown the program is going on. They are working for that program, it may be rural employment program, whatever. But they themselves do not know the philosophy of the program. They do not know this is their program. So what is lacking? They have not been involved properly by using communication process. They do not know themselves. They just become a part of the program. That is not the idea. When we talk of development communication for change, the people who are going to change, they must be communicated thoroughly about development activities. That's why we say development communication for change. Change, the clientele group, the audience will have to change. And therefore this audience for change has to be communicated properly about the developmental activities, so that the benefits which accrue from this, they are able to get it. That is in real sense development communication for change. Many of our programs have gone wrong or failed in this country. Even today's newspaper, they find a program which is meant for urban areas has not cut on any ice. So the present government is going to drop it. Why? Because people do not know about that program. People do not know how they will be benefited by that program. And they are not able to accrue any benefit of that program. So what is the use of that program? It remains only on papers. There is no proper communication. There is no involvement of people, no understanding. It is a program, government's program for the government activities, for the government upliftment. While we say development communication for change, the program is for the people, the program is run by the people, and the people who are involved, they themselves are responsible for change. That's why a latest model which has been developed, farmer first and farmer last. What does it mean? Any development worker who want to bring the change must remember, first thing to be handled is the farmer. जो किसान है, पहले उसको जो भी प्रोग्राम है उसके बारे में उसको बताना, समझाना, और वो अडॉप्ट करता है, तो फार्मर फर्स्ट, और आखिर में फिर किसान, द फार्मर इज द लास्ट. इट मीन इन द होल प्रोग्राम एक्टिविटीज farmer is in the center. Everything is around the farmer. Until unless people have that type of thinking, the program will not succeed. As a development worker, you will have to ensure that we take care of their involvement, their understanding, their acceptance, their adoption, and taking the benefit of that, whatever is the output coming from that activity. Now let us come to the models. What are the models of development communication? All over the world, there are various models people have used. Some have been very successful, some have got a mixed type of output 50% successful, 50% non-successful, and third, totally failure. And there are very interesting examples where people have gone wrong in using a model. First, I would like to give you a research study done by Joe Allen Fair and 224 studies of communication development between 1958 and 1986 were examined, where people have studied the whole communication process, the development process, the change process. So idea was, let us examine all this so that we might reach to a certain conclusion. In these studies, communication was identified as a key element to bring educational, political, economic and cultural transformation in the social system. So what were the important things? Educational change, political change, economic change and cultural changes in the social system. And the media was seen, all the channels of communication were taken as a magic multipliers. What does it mean? Means they multiply the information, they go on giving the information to more number of people and accelerate and magnify the benefits of development. So, in this whole process of examining the 224 studies, the idea was, let us identify a key element in this process which has brought educational, political, cultural and social changes in the society. And media, which have played the role of a magic multiplier, means multiplying this information n number of times, how they have been able to accelerate and magnify the benefits of development. This was a very interesting model. Before I go to the another model, I would like to inform that on the basis of this examination, it was found that all those channels of mass communication were able to create awareness and develop interest in the people. Also, they found they were basically responsible for social change. After that, in 1962, the famous development communication researcher Everett M. Rogers introduced a diffusion theory in context of development through communication. Let us understand what is diffusion. There are different words. There is a word called dissemination. There is a word called giving the inputs, input supply. Now, development can be done by several ways. You can supply the inputs, people start using it, it becomes development. Development can be done by force, especially in communist countries, where they used to announce every farmer will have to use fertilizer. Those who will not use the fertilizer put behind the bars. They will be jailed. Everybody will be using, development will take place. So force can also be used for development. But it has been seen that if participatory approach is not used, development communication is not used, the day you remove the force, people go back. They don't use it again. But once they have understood, once they are convinced, they are persuaded, then it becomes a permanent thing, lifelong thing, that they will go on using it. So therefore, force can also be a factor. Now the question is, what is diffusion? Diffusion is a process in which the information which you release automatically flows to the recipient. To understand this, आपने सेंस स्टिक, अगरबत्ती का नाम सुना। अगरबत्ती को एक जगह जला दिया जाता है, उससे जो धुआं निकलता है वो पूरे कमरे को सुगंधित कर देता है। उसकी खुशबू कोई ले नहीं जाता किसी के पास। That is a diffusion process. You light at one place and it automatically goes to the people. In this, of course, air is the carrier, but air is naturally available. No efforts you are making to spread, otherwise you have to spray in the whole room. In case of incense stick, you need not to spray, just keep in one corner of the room. So whether you would like to have a spray or whether you would like to have a diffusion process, if it is adopted, then you will see the activities goes round and people who are able to get convinced, they use it. So Rogers, he said that if in development communication diffusion theory works and mass media are important channels to take up this job. They just go on broadcasting. They do not go from individual to individual. They do not go from door to door. Radio is broadcast, television is also broadcasting, newspaper, of course, again using print media. So these channels of communication through which you give the developmental activities, they spread very fast to the users. And remember, while these spread, the clientele group, the people who are going to accept it, pass through various stages. And stages which have been mentioned, first stage is awareness stage. You make the people aware about the product. Second stage is interest stage. You develop interest in them about that particular product or about that particular thing, a new idea or developmental activity. Then third stage is trial stage, where you give them an opportunity to try it out. Fourth is evaluation stage. You help them to evaluate that this activity, development activity, is better than your earlier activity. And then fifth, if they find it is better, then they adopt it. If they don't find better, then they reject it. To understand this phenomena, I usually give a very simple example. And the example, because most of you have gone through this type of example, very familiar to you. Suppose you are going to a shop to buy a particular type of cloth for your shirt. तो आप क्या बोलते हैं उससे, सेल्समैन जो वहाँ पर खड़ा हुआ है, कि भाई मुझे कमीज का कपड़ा लेना है। हजारों तरह के कपड़े उसकी दुकान में भरे हुए हैं। अब वो दुकान वाला पूछता है कैसा कपड़ा चाहिए आपको? बोले अच्छा कपड़ा चाहिए। लेकिन दुकान वाला वो कपड़ा दिखाता है जो आपको पसंद आने वाला है। उसे कैसे पता लगता है? हाउ ही इज एबल टू फाइंड आउट? ही इज वेरी क्लेवर सेल्समैन। व्हाट ही डज, वो देखता है आपको और आप क्या कपड़े पहने हैं, किस कलर की शर्ट पहने हैं, कौन सी डिज़ाइन है, वो पहले उन्हीं को लाके दिखाता है, क्योंकि उसे मालूम है ये आप पहने हैं, ये आपको पसंद की चीज़ होगी। फिर बता धीरे धीरे दिखाता है और डिज़ाइंस और तरह के कपड़े। सो व्हाट ही इज डूइंग, ही इज क्रिएटिंग अवेयरनेस। आपको नई नई चीज़ों के बारे में बता रहा है, वो दिखा रहा है। फिर उसके बाद सेकेंड स्टेज अकॉर्डिंग टू हिम वाज डेवलपिंग इंटरेस्ट। आप में इंटरेस्ट डेवलप कर रहा है। सर ये बहुत लेटेस्ट फैशन का कपड़ा है, आजकल बहुत चल रहा है, बहुत लोग यूज कर रहे हैं, बहुत ड्यूरेबल है, इसका रंग नहीं उड़ता है। ही क्रिएट्स इंटरेस्ट इन यू। फिर आप दो तीन कपड़े छाट लेते हैं। देन व्हाट ही डज, he takes you to trial stage. What is trial stage? वो फट से उस कपड़े को उठाता है और आपके कंधे से लेकर नीचे तक लगा देता था और कहता सर मिरर में देखिए आप। तो आप मिरर में देखने लगते हैं। That's the trial. वो ट्राई कराता है आपको, फिर दूसरा कथान दूसरे कंधे पे लगा करके और आपको मिरर में दिखाता है। That means he is trying it out कि आपकी बॉडी पे बड़ा अच्छा लगता है, आपके कलर से सूट करता है, आपको सूट करेगा या नहीं करेगा। After trial, the fourth stage, which Roger said, evaluation stage. What is evaluation stage? बोलता सर ये कपड़ा थोड़ा सा महंगा है मगर चलेगा बहुत साल, आपके पैसे सारे वसूल हो जाएंगे। मतलब वो मूल्यांकन में आपको हेल्प करता है। आज ये बोलता है ये कपड़ा सस्ता है और सस्ते के बाद साथ साथ बहुत टिकाऊ भी है, और आप या तो कन्विंस हो जाते हैं उससे बात से, तो आप कहते हैं ठीक है भाई दे दो कपड़ा। दैट इज अडॉप्शन। हम बोलते हैं नहीं भाई ये नहीं है, दूसरा लेंगे, दूसरा। दैट इज रिजेक्शन ऑफ दैट। नाउ दिस इज ए प्रोसेस consisting of stages. अगर आदमी को आप स्टेजेस के थ्रू ले जाएंगे तो एडॉप्शन फास्ट होगा और that the person will be convinced, persuaded to use it. So development communication for change says take the people through a process. So this is one model of communication where you take the activities for change through various processes, stages, and slowly you see that this is accepted by the people. I will explain you this with the diagram. This is a diagram on development communication. On the center it is I have shown the development communication, and on green area is awareness and creating interest. If you take the whole process as a circle, then you will find that first thing is awareness and creating interest. After you have created interest and made that person aware about that information, then the next stage which has been shown here, implementation. It means trial you are doing at this stage. After implementation, you want to make them empowered, you want to empower them so that they are able to accept that activity. And then the last, you are evaluating it and collecting the feedback. So the diffusion process can also be understood with the same terms, seeing this particular type of diagram where 4 are the important or major sections of development communication. A person will have to go through these sections, because if you don't go through the system, you might fail. And that's what happens in development communication projects. Some of them who have failed in this country, the communicator has not taken care of the cyclic process, one after the other, to communicate effectively to the people who are going to be affected by social change or change. So this is a diffusion model which says, if you are really trying to communicate the information to the people, then you will go through systematically trying to cover all these stages one after the other, using cyclic process, so that the information flows and ultimately people adopt it. So this was the diffusion process model. But what we are now doing, what we have found out in the latest researches which have been reviewed, and we found that the best model of communication is participatory model. In other words, if you start reviewing all the models, you will find the ultimate thing is participation. Participation of the communicator and participation of the receiver. Both must be involved. Then I said farmer first and farmer last. All focus is on farmer. But this is through a participatory process. In our country, people have designed democratic decentralization, Panchayati Raj. Is a beautiful model in which efforts have been made that every stage government officials and people who are going to be affected must be involved. I think you are familiar about this Panchayati Raj model, or English it is a democratic decentralization. Let us review it. I will just take you there. Now you find at the village level there are panchayats. The chairperson of the panchayat is Pradhan or Sarpanch. Now it's non-official people who are involved. And secretary is extension worker, maybe a village level worker or extension officer, whosoever. And they prepare a village plan. Now this village plan is prepared to bring the change in the village or set of villages, because the people who live there, they know what is to be done. So participatory it is, a village plan is prepared. Then it goes to the block level. Block level development committee is there, block development committee, in which all the pradhans of the villages or sarpanch are the members. And block development officer, who is a government machinery person, he is the secretary. But the chairperson of the block development committee is the block pramukh. Now block pramukh is elected from the sarpanches. Therefore, you will find that block plan is prepared. And if you go further, these block plans go to district development committee, Jila Parishad. In Jila Parishad, all the block pramukhs are there. They discuss the plan and work out district plan. So village plan, block development plan, then district plan, where district magistrate is the chair, is the secretary, and Jila Pramukh is the chairperson. When district plans are prepared, they are sent to the state development committee. They are pooled and state plan is prepared, where all the Jila Pramukhs are the members, MLAs are the members, MPs are the members, and chairperson is the chief minister. Development commissioner is the secretary. Now you see how beautifully it has been done. Village, block, district and state. And each state prepare a state plan. And after these state plans are sent to National Development Committee at national level, where Prime Minister is the chairman, chairperson. And all the secretaries are the members. And that's how the national plan is prepared. If you see the methodology, this totally depends on participatory approach. Whether it's a block plan or a state plan or national plan, the change what people want has been accepted, recommended, and therefore if that is approved, then they will think this is the plan which we had prepared and has been accepted. We are responsible for it. So that is what we say participatory model of development communication, where every individual at every stage, whether he is a government official or non-government official, everybody is involved and decisions are taken. So that is called participatory model of communication. Earlier was diffusion model, where you might have done development activity at one place and people will go on seeing it, watching it, and they may accept or they may not accept or reject, whatever the case may be. Now we come from 1996 onward. The communication revolution has taken place. The mobile, digital, all these technologies, innovative technologies, as the people say, and we also accept that these communication technologies has make the whole world a village. everything is instantaneously communicated. सात समुंदर पार की जब बात करते थे, आप यहाँ से बैठे हुए 1 मिनट में सारी इंफॉर्मेशन पहुँचा सकते हैं, which was not possible earlier. So the communication technologies, internet, ICTs, the present government which has come out of the election is talking of better governance and e-governance. You need not to run here and there. One window, everything comes to you. And that development through this latest communication technologies, if they are used, and many places they have started using it, they are changing the social life. Think of now and think 20 years back, you will see yourself, things have changed so fast. And this is all because of communication, nothing else. Nobody is giving anything to anybody. Because communication inputs have become so strong, available to the individuals. For example, you have toll-free services. Even the government has started for farmers a toll-free number. If you have any problem in your farming system, anything you want to clarify, ring up this toll-free number and somebody will be there to give you the answer for your question. Free service available. But this is possible because now everybody has a mobile phone, satellites are there, and through which you can use it 24 hours without any problem. So when you start thinking in that direction, then you find the communication revolution, communication channels, communication strategies have made the whole thing, whole world is synchronized into a village, as if we are communicating. When I get a call from US or UK, I feel somebody is speaking from the next door. Sound is so clear. Now that is what? If you have any question and information, you can always get from them. Even today's, earlier our presentation using Vyas channel or using YouTube, anytime you can get the information about that particular topic, which was not available earlier. We have to learn hard by reading books and all that. Now you have audiovisuals, interesting way to learn and get the information about that particular thing. You have internet facilities, you have search engines, you want any information, anytime, you just go to internet, go to particular search engine, get the whole information and use it at no cost, almost. Now this has brought the revolution. This has brought the participation also. Today's newspaper I was reading on, the present Prime Minister has got something about 60 lakhs followers. He may not be knowing them, but on Facebook, on Twitter, on several things, people are interacting with him. So interaction has become also very conveniently possible. You can do that. So this is a participatory model which is effectively used, then you will be able to communicate to the people in a more convincing manner, persuasive manner, and also you will be able to see that your information is accepted and adopted, or get the proper feedback of your information. So these are the three main models which are being used for development communication. Now come to the approaches. What are the approaches of development communication? First approach, I have named it advocacy. Advocacy is a term which comes basically from the group of people who discuss or make presentations in the court of law, and they are called advocates. So advocates basically present the case of their clientele group in a better way to the judge or to the body which requires the information. Same way, advocacy is a process which is a continuous process and adaptive process of gathering, organizing, formulating the information and then communicating to them, so that these people through various channels of communication, maybe interpersonal, intrapersonal, or group or mass media, they can use and get their views changed or accept the information or lead to an action. So, what is inherent in the advocacy approach? The main thing which is inherent in advocacy approach, that you put forth your information in a manner which is convincing, which is interesting, which will bring the feeling in them that this is for their benefit. Therefore, you must use it. So, the development communicator must be good advocate, must know how to prepare his message, how to present his message, how to communicate effectively to the people.
Before this, we have a caller with us from Bihar. I think we should take this call first. Hello.
Yes.
नमस्कार
जी नमस्कार.
मेरा नाम राकेश है.
जी पूछिए अपना प्रश्न.
मैं सबसे पूछ रहा था हम अपने
जी बोलिए.
को कैसे मदद कर सकते हैं?
एक बार अपना प्रश्न दोबारा से दोहराएं तो ज़्यादा बेहतर होगा और कृपया करके थोड़ा ज़ोर से बोलें. जी बोलिए.
मैडम हम अपने कम्युनिकेशन स्किल को कैसे डेवलप कर सकते हैं?
अच्छा, इनका प्रश्न है कि अपने कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स को कैसे डेवलप कर सकते हैं. ये
बहुत अच्छा प्रश्न है. और कम्युनिकेशन स्किल डेवलप करने के लिए बेसिकली आपको कम्युनिकेशन टूल्स को जानना होगा. टूल्स मतलब ब्रॉडकास्ट, रेडियो, टेलीविज़न, न्यूज़पेपर, सोशल मीडिया, क्योंकि हर टूल्स में की अपनी सीमाएं हैं, लिमिटेशंस हैं, एडवांटेजेस हैं, डिसएडवांटेजेस हैं, और हर एक टूल को यूज़ करने की अलग विधियां अलग हैं। अगर रेडियो यूज़ करना है तो आपको रेडियो स्क्रिप्ट लिखना आना चाहिए, अगर आपको टेलीविज़न यूज़ करना है तो टीवी स्क्रिप्ट आनी चाहिए, अगर आपको न्यूज़पेपर में कोई स्टोरी देनी है तो फीचर राइटिंग या न्यूज़ राइटिंग आना चाहिए, अगर आपको सोशल मीडिया यूज़ करना है तो आपको इंटरनेट, सर्च इंजन्स, ट्विटर्स, ये सब आना चाहिए। तो इसलिए स्किल, आजकल इतनी ज़्यादा स्किल्स हैं कि आपको शायद अगर बॉटम से ऊपर तक सीखना हो तो 2 साल लग जाएगा। इसलिए आजकल मास्टर्स प्रोग्राम्स इन कम्युनिकेशन है। इन मास्टर प्रोग्राम्स इन कम्युनिकेशन में 2 साल में यही सिखाया जाता है, जहाँ पर कि 4 सेमेस्टर में आपको इन सब मीडिया के बारे में कर सकते हैं। तो अगर आपको सीखना है तो एक तरकीब ये है कि आप 2 साल के प्रोग्राम ज्वाइन कर लीजिए। दूसरी ये है कि आप किसी पर्टिकुलर चीज़ के बारे में, मान लीजिए आप न्यूज़पेपर में लिखना चाहते हैं तो किसी न्यूज़पेपर के रिपोर्टर को मिल लीजिए, वो आपको बता देगा कैसे कैसे लिखना है। अगर आप ब्रॉडकास्टिंग में चाहते हैं तो वहाँ के जो ब्रॉडकास्टर हैं उनसे बात कर लीजिए। तो वो एक शॉर्टकट मेथड है सो दैट you can use these skills.
So
Otherwise,
this
you will
was
have
the
to go through
question related to, I think he was more interested in asking about enhancing or polishing himself, कि वो किस तरीके से अपने कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स को बढ़ाए। जैसे कि थोड़ी देर पहले जब हमारा लेक्चर शुरू नहीं हुआ था तो आपने जो गुण, जो कहते हैं टिप्स मुझे दी थी कि किस तरीके से लिसनिंग और कम्युनिकेटिंग, ये दोनों चीज़ें अगर साथ साथ चलें तो शायद कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स अपने आप स्ट्रांग हो सकती हैं। इसके बारे में आप थोड़ा सा हमें बताएं, क्योंकि अभी हमारे पास समय भी बहुत कम बचा है, तो जितने भी व्यूअर्स हमें सुन रहे हैं शायद उनको हेल्प मिलेगी।
सीधी सी बात अगर मैं कहूँ, कम्युनिकेशन एक कॉइन है, एक सिक्का है, उसके 2 पहलू हैं। एक तरफ है कम्युनिकेशन, मतलब इंफॉर्मेशन देना, और दूसरी तरफ है इंफॉर्मेशन को रिसीव करना, लिसनिंग। स्पीकिंग एंड लिसनिंग आर 2 sides of the communication coin. If you want to be effective communicator, you must be effective speaker and also effective listener. अगर आप दोनों चीज़ें आप में हैं तो आप अपने को एक अच्छा कम्युनिकेटर कह सकते हैं। खाली आप अपनी बात कहते रहे तो देन यू आर ओनली स्पीकर, टॉकर, स्पीच मेकर, और दूसरे को ना सुने, दैट इज अ बैड हैबिट।
Very true, sir. You have given a very beautiful example that it is a two-way process, that is communicating and listening at the same time. But we have a very less time left with us, and approaches portion is slightly left, I think. But Professor Devesh Kishore would be tomorrow with us also again. So we would continue with this thing, and as well as we will continue with the fresh topic tomorrow. And I would like to thank Dr. Professor Devesh Kishore for being with us and delivering such a nice message through this lecture. Thank you.